everyone. In today's video, I want to talk to you about a very special app called GoTalk Now. Now, up until this point, I haven't shared with you a whole lot about my special needs daughter, and I hope to do that more in the future as I feel more comfortable. But for today's video, I'd like to tell you that her name is Melanie, and she's 14 years of age. She has a speech disability along with some other developmental and cognitive delays. And so we use this app to help her to be able to communicate with us and with others in her life. And so I'm just going to take a few minutes to talk to you about how we got to this point. And then also at the end of this video, I'll demonstrate how the app works and then also show you a demonstration of Melanie using the app to communicate. So when Melanie was about 2 years of age and we realized that we needed some help for her to be able to learn to communicate, we had a speech therapist that came into the home and she began teaching us a system called a picture exchange system. And so we took pictures of things that Melanie was familiar with around the house and that she could relate to, and we made them into magnets and we put them on the refrigerator so that she could choose the item and bring it to us and to communicate that that was something she would like to do or something that she wanted. So we started very early with this concept. As she grew, we continued with that same system, but we started using a software called Boardmaker. And this was a system of pictures, again, not real life pictures, but almost like symbols that represented things that she would like to do or things that she would like to eat or other activities that she was familiar with. And we did the same thing. We laminated them, put magnets on them, and then put them on the refrigerator for her to choose. Then as we continued to grow and Melanie continued to grow, we expanded that, and she even used a few other things brought in by speech therapists, some little machines that had buttons with the Boardmaker pictures so that she could identify her choice. So we experimented with several different things along those lines, again continuing to use this software called Boardmaker. But then when she got into school, a sweet teacher came to me and said, I would like to put together a book for Melanie that will help her to communicate. And what it was it's just this book right here, and you can see it's kind of worn out. It's probably, I would say, almost 10 years old. And the same idea, in this notebook, she composed many different pages of things that Melanie could choose from. Okay, so in this book there were pages that had food choices, activities that she would like to do, things that she wanted to choose, even some reminders of some do's and some don'ts, because Melanie had some bad habits that we were trying to break. And so she could, each of the pictures are Velcroed on the page, and she could take them off and give them to us to communicate. But again, it just expanded what we had already been doing for several years. Okay, so you got some more pages here. It's hard to show it all, and I know there's a glare, so bear with me. So there's some activities: take a walk, puzzle, watch TV, things like that. So she had a lot of different categories in this notebook. So she, again, just expanded what we had been doing previously. Even there were some academic things in here. Like for instance, we have seasons. And I think there was some sign language, even some sign language, like I think more is on this page. And so a lot of different things that Melanie could choose to communicate with. So again, we were just using the same concept of taking the picture and exchanging it, and so that she would know that this is a way that she could communicate with us. Then as she got older, we were able to qualify through a grant for something like this called a Quick Talker. Okay, so it's the same idea. You still have the Boardmaker software, the pictures that represent things that she would like to do. And so this is when we started encouraging her to put together a sentence. Please, may I have a snack? So we could program this any way we would like, and we tried to put it in a format where she would have to put two buttons together to request something and to make a sentence. And so again, we used Boardmaker, and then over on the side here, the little pages would slip out and we could put a whole new board in here. Now I would say the only downside to this was the fact that you had to slip this in and out, and the other ones were in the back, and it was a little bit cumbersome to have to switch those pages in and out. So this was great, and we were very grateful for it, but it probably didn't last as long as we would have liked because of just the it not being very easy to switch in and out. But again, it was still the same concept that we had started with when she was 2 years of age, using the pictures to communicate. So then when she was 11 years old, we got her an iPad for her birthday, and one of the teachers from school suggested to me to use a speech app to help her. And when we did the research, there were a lot of them out there, and some of them are quite pricey, $200, $300. possibly up to $500, and I'm sure they're all well worth the money. But for the level that Melanie was on and for what we could afford, we didn't quite want to spend that much at first. So she told us about this app called GoTalk Now, and the screen is probably going to have a glare, but there it is right there. And so this is her homepage. And what we did was we downloaded the free version, and then later on we were able to pay to expand this app. We paid $75 to expand it, which I thought was very reasonable. I think we paid even a little bit more to get the voice on there that sounded like a young girl that would be about Melanie's age. And that was all we had to do. And we have unlimited pages on here, so we can program this with as many pages as we would like. And it has lasted us for over 3 years, and she has not grown out of this yet. Now, at some point she may, and we may need to get a nicer speech app, but for now this has worked really well. And so again, the same concept when she was 2 is we just took the pictures, and we do have words that we're adding on here now because she does sight read, so she is able to rely upon the words. So when Melanie uses this app called GoTalk Now, she just simply pushes the button and the button speaks for her. And a lot of people have the opinion that, well, if the app is doing all the talking for her, how is she going to learn to talk? But from my experience, I've found that Melanie's communication and her attempt to verbalize words has increased all that much more since she's been using this app. So we've only seen an increase in her attempt to say words, and she has also verbalized words that we could understand very well since she's been using this app. So it has not been a negative as far as her motivation to want to talk. So that was not a problem for us. She does very well with navigating. She learns very quickly what screen has the information that she needs, and she answers questions very well. So I'm going to demonstrate that here in just a minute at the end of this video so that you can see how she uses it. And again, in the future, I'll probably do some more videos to show you how I program it. I had to learn how to program it. I had to get a little bit of training from the teacher at school that recommended this app to me. She showed me and was very patient with me. It wasn't something I could learn in one day. It did take me a little while to learn it, but once I got it down, it's very quick, very easy for me to add and take away buttons, or to add screens or take away or rearrange. It's just much easier compared to this, the quick talker right here. It's much easier to deal with than this. So anyway, that's why we've just done really well with it, and it's worked well for us. We've just been very happy with how Melanie has done with it. And so that's why I wanted to put this out here on this channel, so that if there's anyone looking for information about the GoTalk Now app, I highly recommend it. Okay, so I have Melanie's iPad here, and you can see on the home screen we have the icon here for GoTalk Now. And so this is our home page that it opens up to every time she uses the app. This is the page that it lands on, and so you've got this button right here which always brings her back to this page wherever she's at in the app, and then this little arrow means that it will take her back to the previous page that she was on. Then there's her little picture, and then this right here is a quick way to be able to access other screens and other pages. We've got a lot of them. I'm not sure how many, probably 25 or so that we've programmed. So this would probably be something I would use to jump to a certain page that I need to get to quickly. That's why it shows like a little person jumping. And then the exclamation point is just a pop-up of several buttons that are quick ones that she needs to get to. It's called core vocabulary. And so if she needs to say her name, or if she needs to tell someone that she uses her iPad to talk, or if she needs space, or if she wants to do something herself, this is just a quick little pop-up that comes here up here so that she can say those things quickly without having to jump to a different page. So on the home screen you have several different areas like All About Me, School, and Church. When those buttons are accessed, they will jump to whole new screens with other buttons, and some of these even jump to another screen full of buttons. So for today's video I don't have time to go through all of those, but you can program any button to jump to a whole nother page. So later on this channel I'll do a video to demonstrate how I program the iPad to do that. So back to the home, but then there are some buttons that are just single buttons, like for instance, I'm sorry, that just says I'm sorry. It doesn't jump anywhere. So some of the buttons just are single use buttons, they don't go anywhere. But again, this all can be programmed a lot of different ways. And so if I want to program the iPad to do something, I take 3 fingers and I swipe down, and that brings me to this. And then this is where I go to edit. So this would be my area where I would add buttons, take buttons away, add screens, move things around, all different things I can do through the page editor area. And then for Melanie, if she was on this, she would be the player because she's the one using the iPad to communicate. And so anyway, that's also on here. You've got store where you can go in and upgrade the app in a few different ways, settings, and the help area if you have questions or concerns. And so again, she does very well with this. I would say one other thing before I end this clip, that the goal is to eventually have only words on these buttons and no pictures to prompt her. And she probably could do a lot of this without the pictures, but we have not started working towards that goal yet. But that would be the goal eventually, is to only have words so that she doesn't rely upon the pictures to guide her. But she does very well with this and we're very happy with it. I have Melanie with me right now and we're going to show you how we use this GoTalk Now app. Okay, go ahead Melanie, open up the app. Very good. Okay, so I'm just going to ask her a few questions and she's going to answer. So Melanie, what do we say when we make a mistake and we feel bad about something? What do we tell the person?
I'm sorry.
Very good. Melanie, can you show me on your iPad where we have the seasons?
School. Calendar time. Seasons.
What season are we in, Melanie?
Summer.
Very good. Okay, go back to the home. Very nice. Okay, Melanie, can you tell me if someone wants to know what your name is and you want to introduce yourself? What do you do? What do you say?
Hello, my name is Melanie.
Very good. If someone tries to take your iPad or touches it, what can you say to help them understand?
Please don't touch my iPad. I use it to talk.
Very good. If you're all done with a certain activity, what can you say?
I am finished.
Very good. Melanie, do you like using your iPad to talk? Can you tell me? What button would you tell me?
I want to talk with you.
Tell me yes or no. Do you like to use your iPad to talk?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so that's just a short little demonstration of how Melanie uses this iPad to talk. So there you have it. That's the GoTalk Now app, and I hope this video helps you. And if you're looking for any information or any help about it, I would love to be able to help you with that. Just leave a comment below, and I would love to help you with whatever you need there. Please like this video and hit that subscribe button. And also, you can find me on Instagram at WeHeartSmarts. I would love to interact with you there. I'm Stephanie, and I'll see you next time.